Let's talk about how I got scammed buying sports cards. So how I actually got scammed. Up until this point, I've only been in the hobby for about a year after rediscovering my childhood collection, and I'd only really done deals on eBay, buying and selling on eBay, but within the last couple months, I've kind of expanded to Instagram, Facebook, Discord, other stuff, right? So you can kind of like get away from the eBay fees that take away 15%. People are a little more flexible. Well, needless to say, Facebook, I've been doing a lot more on, especially buying and selling. So I join these different groups and people reach out to me, or I reach out to people and kind of like promote what I'm selling. Other people promote what they're selling. And then on Marketplace, there's more of like an in-person aspect. So I post what I'm selling, other people will post what they're selling, and we'll meet up in person. But this particular one that I got scammed for was about like a, how would you say this? Just a regular Facebook deal. Like, so the person reached out to me on Marketplace. Let me not get that wrong. A person reached out because they saw they saw a post about me buying. However, they live, well, supposedly they live, because I don't even know how much I can believe from this person anymore, out in Chicago. So there was no way we were going to meet up. That's probably about like an 8 to 10 hour drive roughly from where I live. And there's just no way we're going to make that work. Especially with gas prices today, like it doesn't make sense to each person drive that far, drive all the way back for a one card deal when you could just mail it for $5 to $10. So the guy reached out, or the person I should say, and basically said, I have a Caleb downtown. Who is that not gonna excite, you know? He's pretty hyped going into next season. His card prices are high, and I've never had any, I figured this, like I try to keep like a open mind. Like I knew that eventually I was probably going to deal with a situation like this where I ended up getting scammed. I just didn't think it was going to be this time. It's crazy. There were other times, other deals I did that felt sketchier than this one, and I've never been scammed up until this point. So he said, I got a Caleb downtown. I look it up. I think 30-day average was $770. Typically, I try to at least at a minimum, I can't even think about buying until I get down to 85%. I don't know where that puts that at. But anyways, I ended up buying it from him for $700. That's what we agreed to. And there was even some recent sales. The most recent one was there was one recent one for like $1,000 and then one for like $850. So I thought, I don't think I quite got to where I actually wanted to be. I could be wrong, but, and then like from that 85%, I also take off like another 10%. So that way I can make a 10% margin on everything I buy. So needless to say, I try to buy at 75%. I don't think that $70 off of $770 is 25% off. But regardless, I saw those higher sales and I was like, you know, we're heading into the NFL season here in like 2 months, 3 months. So I don't know. I just thought it was a great purchase even to get, you know, $70 off. So yeah, basically I was like going back and forth with him. It wasn't really much negotiation, but he said some things that kind of like definitely like made me think a little bit. He said something about, I have to check with my partner, and he was like being very vague, and I was like, okay. I was trying to think like who his partner was. So I was like, I didn't know if he was talking about like a relationship partner or if he was talking about like someone in the business with him. So I asked him just for kind of for clarification to get a better understanding. And I said, like, when you say partner, do you mean like, you know, a partner, or do you mean someone that you're doing this with? And he goes, oh yeah, one of my homeboys I'm doing this with, like me and him do it together, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, like I could understand that, you know, you guys are doing it together. Maybe you both have some money into the card, or maybe it's technically his card and you're selling it for him, whatever the case may be. All right. He sent me some pictures of it, and this was probably the first red flag, right? He sent me corner pictures. I didn't really like specifically ask for any pictures, I think, but he chose to and sent me like, what was it? I think it was 8 total pictures, and it was up close of each corner of the front and each corner of the back. So it's 8 total photos. It kind of like puts them all together when you open it on Facebook. And now that I look at it, maybe I should have caught it, but I didn't for some reason. I don't know. So anyways, I ended up sending him goods and services, PayPal, $800 or $700. And I don't think anything of it. He provides me the tracking. The other thing, looking back at it now, that was sketchy though, is after I sent him the money, he goes, I'll get you the tracking tonight when I get home. Except for he said something about like he was already home at one point earlier in the day. I don't know, whatever. I just disregarded it. I was like, whatever, you can't fix stupid, crazy, but like there was a point where he said he was home to like ship it out, and then all of a sudden he said he wasn't, and it was just confusing the way he was wording it, but I didn't think much of it. But the part that really messed me up, now that I look at it, was when he sent me the tracking. Instead of just sending me like the tracking number or something, he also wanted to show me like he like packaged it up or something, and it was like of the bottom of the big bubble mailer that he sent me. And the reason why he got me a big bubble mailer, I'll show you. I'm trying not to leak any information here, but this was the size bubble mailer that came in the mail. So automatically I was like, I knew this was coming this day, like whatever day it ended up arriving, and I was like, I never ordered anything of this size. I was so confused, but I knew that was what I was expecting, and I think it was like the only thing that came in the mail that day. So I was like, it's got to be in this package. So I was like, all right, whatever. People do their own thing sometimes, whatever. Well, I open it up, and this is what's inside of it. A jumbo downtown of Caleb Williams. I imagine this is probably only worth like, I didn't even look it up, probably like 10 to 20 bucks, if even. But the guy, the absolute ding dong, I should honestly maybe reach out to this person and say something about it so we can get him banned on eBay. Because he included, I don't think he actually ever had this package in his hand or any of this in his hand. Because when I'm looking at the shipping label right here, when I gave him my address, he put my address in, and then he put his name instead of my name. And the reason I know that I think he never had this is because one of them, either the eBay seller or him, provided like the packing slip, the invoice, and it says ship to and ship from, and it matches what's on the label here, and it shows that there was an eBay purchase for $70, which is outrageous. I don't think this card actually goes for that, so I don't even know why he wouldn't have. I'd imagine there's a cheaper one, but maybe not. Maybe it really does go for 70 bucks, but regardless, not $700. So it shows the whole thing, subtotal, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it literally shows quantity 1 jumbo downtown. So I'm wondering if, there's his username right here actually. So I'm going to try to get him banned off of that. He obviously hasn't responded after it's been over a week now. I filed a claim with PayPal. We're getting that sorted out here, but the tough thing is like I'm out $700 for like at least a couple of weeks from the day I spent that money. And I'd be out $700 regardless if I bought the card, but at least I could like get most of that back. Whereas this right now, I'm just shooting blind at a dartboard. But yeah, message him on Facebook, has not replied obviously. Filed immediately with PayPal, sent all the proof, different stuff. And I just think like the audacity, I think the party messed up on though, is I'm a little confused. Like May 29th, if I go back and look at our deal, I thought it was like, this was like, I can't remember. It was either ordered like before almost. So maybe he just like assumed we were going to get this deal done, but he already started sending it to her. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong here, but I don't know. I just think it's like really weird. Like, why would you not? Maybe he didn't want to use his actual address. I don't know. I just don't get it. He's probably going to make a whole new eBay and PayPal especially and Facebook, all that. The only red flags that popped out on his stuff, it's hard because people have stuff privated. He had like 1.3 thousand friends. He probably must have botted them. He didn't have a profile picture. So that right there was like a little bit concerning, and I did think about that. But he had like a thing of like, I don't know if it was him and his kid or what the picture actually was, but I don't know. It seemed like a real photo. So this guy is like such a bad scammer that I don't know. Like there's levels to this, I feel like, and I don't understand why. I don't really understand how you think you're going to like get away with that, you know? There's a reason I use goods and services for people I've never done a deal with before, and that's because you can get your money back if you do but there is a fee attached to when the seller takes their money, I think, something like that. And then, what was I going to say? And then there's like a friends and family on PayPal. And that one you don't want to do unless you've done a deal with someone before and you know they're not going to screw you over. So that is why you use specifically PayPal, goods and services. I think Venmo might also have goods and services, but for some reason PayPal is just the industry standard. Maybe they have better customer support. I don't know. We're about to find out though. And yeah, and the worst, like the funniest part of all this is I have to hold on to it because it says like, if I do, they're more likely, I think, to like give me a refund if I say like I'm willing to like ship this back. Except the thing is this is off of a person from eBay. So I don't really know how that's going to work because I can't ship it to his address. He used someone else, or it's the eBay seller's return address is what's on it. So the eBay seller already like probably like, you know, he definitely got his money, I would imagine. So I just don't really, I don't know. I got scammed buying sports cards and it was my first time. And there's a short up on my channel as well of the whole reaction, honestly. I was really excited. I was going to make a whole thing about how it was the most expensive card I ever bought. And it wasn't even by much. I bought a Brock Purdy Kaboom for like $500 a couple months ago. I bought, I think, like a $450 card lot of Xavier Worthy a couple months ago, or I don't know, something like that. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like it's so weird. But I'm really not too mad about it. The good thing is I don't have like almost any of my personal money in this like business. I created a business bank account to track more because it was getting really hard to like track how much money I actually had when I was like kind of like in the same account as my personal money. So I made a separate bank account and I literally basically started with $0. Now I did spend some of my own money like here and there, like buying maybe like a blaster box here or there, but out of all that, I've literally like hardly made any money off of the things I pulled from those. But majority, I started at $0 and I sold off. I think I bought a couple packs of Donruss last year. I pulled some Jaden Daniels. What was it? I don't even know. It was some like insert and it was worth like $20 at the time. His market was super hot. And yeah, I don't know. I just kind of started off of that, won some giveaways off of Whatnot, got really lucky, and was able to kind of sell off those singles. I won a Uptown Brock Bowers and a Downtown Tyreek Hill. That was just kind of how I got my start. Controversial a little bit, but yeah. So I pretty much started with like $0 for the most part. For the most part, I've just got stuff for free, sold it, and then I would turn and and then like that money that I sold it with, I'd go buy more cards with, and I've just scaled it. So it's, you know, I got to remind myself at the end of the day, it's for fun. It's a hobby. Yes, it sucks to get burnt like this, but I didn't technically lose like $700 of my own money. I lost $700 of sports card gains that I've made over the last year. And I've already made so much progress. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy. The amount of progress I've made. If you look at like my eBay like sales by quarter, it is literally just so exponential. It's like, it's just climbing. I think I should either be like pretty close or already hit about like $5,000 worth in sales, which I'd say is pretty good. I've kept up with it. I'm only going to grow from here. Even if it takes like, you know, even if I need to take like small gains. But it's the way I'm going, like, I'm not really too mad about it. It just sucks that I could be having that $700 in the circulation right now. I could be maybe doing some other bigger deals. Like, I could actually be buying a Caleb Williams downtown from someone instead of this guy. So, yeah, if you want, check out that short. It's my live reaction of me, like, truly had no idea I was getting scammed up until that point, until I opened it. And you can just hear, like, just mic drop. I'm just defeated. But we're all good now. It's been over a week and hopefully we get our money back. Maybe I'll have to provide an update. So yeah, that's how I got scammed buying sports cards. Make sure you be aware. One thing you should always have your seller do on something like that is coin your cards. If you don't know what that is, search it up, look it up. It's where you write something. I don't know why they call it coin. Maybe there's an acronym. But people on Facebook, very common. I didn't understand it at first, but they'll write the date, the current date that they're posting that listing, and their name, so that way you know, like, that hopefully is their card. They didn't make some other account. They're not scamming you. You can still get burnt doing that, but you're a lot less likely to. Whereas this guy, if I would have just asked him to do that, I don't think it would have happened, because then he would have had to ask the eBay seller to put his name and date on it. And I think hopefully that guy would have caught up on it, because it does say on here that they go by something card market. I won't try not to leak anyone's information, but it does seem like they're like, must have some pretty reputable, maybe eBay store. I'll have to look them up, but yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. So I'm really just making this video for you guys and self-awareness. So be aware when you're buying cards. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. In this case, it really wasn't. Like, this is actually what I would buy this card for, at $700. And I think that's a very fair price. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't get scammed. Peace out.